Hello, feet on the earth, hearts in this moment. Let's begin.
Good morning.
Good morning, Stephanie. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good.
So I would like to apologize to our listeners for the last episode sounding a little weird. I think I figured it out now, so it should be good.
It's going to be a work in progress,
Yeah.
but we did make a decision to not try to record 2 episodes in a day, to just do one. That way, if we do, then we should be able to check it.
Yeah, we should be able to check
We
it.
should be able to check it right away and know if we're going to have to redo it. So, we'll see if we can. Yeah, we'll see.
Yep.
We'll see.
We'll see how it goes.
We'll figure it out maybe by episode 10.
Yeah. It's just going to get better from here.
Yeah, well, it can't get any worse. No, just kidding. It's not that bad. You can understand it, you can hear it. It's just a little echoey, so.
Yeah. It was much better than the first recording, which.
But we didn't have to re-record it, so you must have did something in editing with the first one. Oh, no, you mean the first time we did it.
Yeah, the first time we did that episode.
Yeah, that episode. Yeah.
Like, the sound on it was so, like, garbled and messed up.
Yeah.
And
I had rocks in my mouth, so that could be why.
I mean, it kind of sounded like we had rocks in our mouths, so
yeah,
very clicky ones, that like loud ones too. It was
it
was not great.
That's okay. Well, we redid it. It's all good now. So
yep.
And we're gonna try to get the rest of these in one take, but we'll see.
Yeah, you never know. So,
I mean, we learn different things each time we come together. So.
Mm-hmm. So, how was your week?
It's been good. So I can't remember. So this is our second attempt at recording this episode. So I honestly don't remember what we covered.
It's like a whole new episode.
My kids were visiting.
Yep.
So they were here for a couple weeks, and then when they left to go back home, they live in Northern California, and I left that same day to go to Pasadena for the Groom Expo. So yeah, I haven't really slowed down since then. I got new furniture. It got delivered. I had to order. It's beige, which is not the greatest when you have a house full of animals, but I love this particular couch, and it was the only one they had, and they only came in beige. And I thought, you know what, I'll just buy covers for it. So I ordered covers, and I ordered dark gray covers. And so they arrived yesterday. So now the covers are on it, except that the cushion covers are a little snug, but it's fine. It's fine. It looks good. And I got that all put together, and was fighting with bought a lamp to go behind it. It stuck out too much, took the lamp out. So now it's dark, and it's just a thing. And it's like, and here's the thing. All of it was an impulse purchase.
Yeah.
I spent thousands of dollars on a couch and all the fixins on impulse.
Yeah.
Because I just don't know how to control myself. I just love to spend money.
Me too.
But
it's really easy to spend it.
Yeah.
It's hard to save it.
I bought new curtains, and I ordered all this stuff, so I'm waiting for it to come in. It's here now. They're up. But in the meantime, while I'm waiting for the covers to come, I've got quilts all over the couch to keep them from. We have kittens. I don't know if I told anybody, but we have two kittens, and anybody who's had kittens knows they're little monsters, and they climb the furniture, and they, so I'm keeping their nails trimmed, but I have cover. I have blankets on the furniture to keep it safe. I took a video like 2 days ago of one of the kittens jumping and climbing the curtain, and I thought, why am I going to put up new curtains? But I did. I put up new curtains. So they haven't climbed the new ones yet, but I make sure as soon as I wake up in the morning, I open them wide, because what they're going after is, I have a crystal hanging in the window that it has the rainbows all over the prism, and that's what they're going for. So I just open the curtains wide, so they can't get at it. Hopefully, we'll see. They're kittens.
Yep.
But so
Kids do
that's
kitten things.
yeah, that's my news. That's about anything that's happened for me in the last week and a half.
Yeah.
How about you?
Uh,
What's new?
well, I went camping for my birthday.
Oh yeah. How did that go?
It was good.
Yeah. How was
yes.
Princess John? He managed.
Yeah, he managed.
Okay.
Um,
I love that.
yeah,
He's a princess.
and he owns it too. He's like, yeah, I'm a princess.
Good.
So, but yeah, he said if it had been any warmer, he would have ended up sleeping in the car.
Yeah.
He brought his Tesla so that he could cool off if he needed to. And it worked out really well because, my plug-in cooler thought I found all of the parts so I could plug it in inside.
No. Still
We got
something
there.
missing?
Still something missing. So then he had to leave his car in camping mode to have that.
Oh wow. Of course they do.
Yeah. So he had it in camping mode with the cooler out there so that we could still keep things cold. The only thing I was really worried about, like he wanted to leave stuff in there, like all the food and stuff, because it makes him feel more comfortable. The thing I was worried about, so I'm like, we could go get ice, but I don't want my medication to be in there then, and my medication has to stay cool.
But not frozen. Cool, but not frozen. Yeah.
But then if I put it in the ice, it'll get wet. Like even though it's in the bottle and stuff, like it ends up getting.
Oh yeah,
wet.
no, you don't.
Yeah. So I'm like, I don't want to put those in there, but the rest of it can just go in ice.
Yeah.
But he figured out camping mode and it worked out pretty well. Luckily, we were only 30 minutes from a supercharger, so
that's good. Good. Yeah. So you had fun.
Yeah, it was fun. The property that we stayed at was awesome. I will say, and we missed in her thing. She said kids 5 and up.
Oh.
But she was really nice about it. But we realized, but we do understand why, because it's like all on a hill. She's like built into a hill.
Oh, okay.
So wobbly children are
yeah,
it's a little dangerous.
What about wobbly adults?
Even wobbly adults, especially it was raining a lot. So
And how old are the kids?
2 and 4.
Well, so they are little. They're little.
Yeah. But we just made sure that we watched them really carefully. The 2-year-old was really easy to watch. At least he's still in his sweet
hold me, carry
me. I want to be next to you.
Yeah.
I mean, he could be adventurous, but he wants to be adventurous with you.
Yeah.
So he actually was pretty easy to take care of, which is the one that we were worried about because he is so clumsy. Last time we went camping,
too.
He's extra clumsy.
Yeah, well,
last time we went camping before this, the kid came home with 4 big old eggs on his head and just bruises from head to toe. I'm like, someone's gonna think that we're beating this kid.
Oh my gosh. I used to take mine to I swear we were in the ER every other week. I think one time we made 3 visits to the ER in a week and a half, and I know they were eyeballing me, but I mean, it was one, the kid got a sliver that we couldn't get out. One was she stuck paper in her ear. So, which I blame my sister-in-law because my sister-in-law was putting paper. We were at a soccer game. They played soccer, and my sister-in-law took paper and kind of tucked it in her ear to help with the cold so it wasn't windy in her ear. So my daughter seen her do this and she did it, but she
just like her.
Yeah, so she stuck the paper too far in her ear, so we had to take her in for that. And then I think the third visit was, I don't remember what it was for, but it might have been a little more serious. This one might be questionable, but we've been here 3 times now, but I think the third one was also a different kid. So the first, the sliver and the ear thing was one daughter, and then my other daughter is the one that there was something else. I can't remember what it was though, but yeah,
kids be like that.
Yeah,
but yeah, he's so clumsy. So we were expecting him to be the problem. But he was very chill and just he's still listening really well. He hasn't hit that point where he's like his ears turn off, you know?
Yeah.
So he still listens really well. We don't have to like worry about him as much. The older one, um, he's like he's hit this stage where he's trying to I think he's trying to take a little more control of his own life, getting that, he wants to make his own decisions and he wants, um he's a little bit more rebellious. He's still a sweet kid, sweet as pie, but like he's also dealing with a lot of big feelings.
Yeah.
Um
Oh, I know what big feelings are.
oh yeah.
Yeah.
And big feelings are hard anyways, but I feel like he's just starting to get like anger,
Oh. Yeah.
where like it's almost like a whole new feeling that he's not used to.
Yeah.
So he's really struggling with that.
Yeah.
But then it was also very tough for us a little bit.
Is he a hitter? My granddaughter's
he can be,
granddaughter's a bit of a hitter.
yeah, he
Yeah.
can hit her.
And it's the same thing. She's got these feelings and they just
they just don't know what to do with
Yeah.
them. And a lot of it with him is just, he doesn't know what to do with them, what to do with those. And then he doesn't really like hit on adults too much. He does sometimes, but he really beats up his brother.
Hence the 4 eggs on his head.
Mm-hmm. But like, yeah, he's been beaten up. He puts it out on his brother, unfortunately. So there was a lot of talks of like, you don't hurt your brother.
Yeah.
It's okay to have the big feelings,
But yeah,
you can't
we gotta
hurt your
find
brother over it.
gotta find a way to channel them to
Yeah. So
not violence.
yeah.
Yeah. That's my daughter's kind of dealing with that with hers right now, and they're both going through different, like there's a 7-year-old and the 4.5-year-old, and the 4.5-year-old's like very frustrated, and and she gets angry, and she'll kind of lash out a little bit, and then the
he's actually 4.5.
Yeah, and the 7-year-old is just like almost, she gets distraught. She gets upset easily when things don't go her way. And we took them, when they were here, we took them to the water park that's here. And it's a little water park, but it's nice. It's the first time I've ever been there. And it's a nice little park. But we went in, and outside they have the measuring thing. And she's, oh, I'm tall enough. And, great, you're tall enough. So we go in and we get on, and they have it's kind of divided. So there's the section that's like the bigger kids, adults, and, they it's deeper water. And then they have this section that's, moderate. And then of course there's the little baby kind of splash pad kind of thing. So we're on the moderate side, and we're going down the slides. They have 3 different slides you can go down. And they're just, or two, I don't know, 2 or 3 slides. I can't even think how many there were, but they're moderate slides, they're fine. And we go on, and the 3 of us, my daughter, myself, and the granddaughter, we go up, and we go down the slides, and then we get back in line. We're going to go up, and now we're each going to go down a different slide. And there was a different person at the top, like they switch off and take breaks. So I noticed when we were in line that she measured one of the kids, and kid was fine. And I thought, she's going to measure my granddaughter. I just know it. Well, for some reason, my granddaughter wanted to go last. She wanted us to go before her. She wanted to go after both myself and my daughter. And I worried, because I thought, they're going to measure her, and she's going to be on her own up here. But I went down the slide. I get out of the water, and I'm looking, and sure enough, she comes down the steps. And I said, oh, they didn't let her go down. And of course, we're like, we don't understand, because she already went down the slide, right? Yeah. So it's not like she hasn't already been on this slide. Yeah, she's not tall enough. Well, they have a piece of tape. So I don't know if they're measuring from the bottom of the tape or the top of the tape, if they're all measuring from different places. So to combat this, she could get a wristband, and the wristband will let her go on anything, anywhere. But she's got to take a swim test to get the wristband. Well, she didn't want to take the swim test. So of course she's really, she's having the feelings. finally my son-in-law convinced her, let's just go take the test. You know you're gonna pass it. Let's go take the test. So she finally went over to the big pool, and all she's got to do is you swim out and back the width or whatever of this pool, and then you have to tread water for like 5 minutes. And yeah, flying colors.
Yeah.
So she gets her wristband, and now she's on the fast slides, and And I was like, see, I wish that person was up there, that again, so she could go and wave the, bracelet in her face, but because that's the shitty part that I am, like I'm like, yeah, we'll show them. But they had a blast. They had a really good time. But yeah, the big feelings.
It's hard when they're at that like weird height
right?
too.
Yeah. Well,
in these parks, it's like a lot of like teenagers
Sure.
working it, and so it's really hard. Like, it's really hard to get those teenagers to all do the things the same way.
Well, and I think sometimes you get the teenagers that they just don't want to confront anybody.
Yep.
And say you're not tall enough.
So they just don't.
So they just don't. And then, maybe the older kids, the older teenagers or the young adults that are there, they will. They will say you can't ride this ride. But, for the record, I myself am only about 2 inches taller to ride all the rides in Six Flags, right? So that's that. My kids, even though my son-in-law is 6 feet tall, the granddaughters, they don't have that gene.
Yeah.
They definitely take after my daughter, so they're little.
Yeah.
And so sadly, they're going to be watching their friends ride rides that they can't ride.
Yeah, that sucks.
Yeah.
I always wondered, like, once you're an adult, like, do you, have you ever had an issue once you were an adult of not being able to be tall enough for a ride?
No. Like I said, I mean, I've been this height since ninth grade.
Yeah.
So I've been lucky enough that I just make it.
Yeah.
So all the years that I was going to Six Flags in high school and stuff, I was just tall enough.
Yeah.
But I remember being on a ride, a little kiddie roller coaster, like one of those little, I don't know if it's a dragon or something, real rinky dink little roller coaster that just kind of has humps in it, right? It was little ups and down hills, nothing scary. But I took one of my daughters, I can't even remember. I think it might have been my youngest. We got on that ride together, mind you. And there were 3 little girls that were also getting on the ride. And now I think my daughter was probably 5, but she's tiny, right?
Yeah.
So she's a tiny 5-year-old. And this little girl, one of the little girls in this group of 3 was very obviously younger. She was a young girl, like they were holding her hand. And I think they were probably sisters, so it was the 2 older sisters taking the little baby. I don't think she was taller than my daughter.
Yeah.
But she did have like a ponytail on the top of her head. So when you put her up to the measuring thing, I think that ponytail is what this is my perception. I could be very wrong because obviously I was on the other side of it. But we got kicked off this ride because they said my daughter wasn't tall enough. And again, I think she was. Like, I think she was right there at the edge. I wouldn't have stood in the damn line.
Yeah.
They give you the places to measure before you get in the line. We wouldn't have stood in the line if I thought she wasn't going to make it, because I don't want to do that to her, and I don't want to do it. I don't want to stand in a line where we're not going to be able to do anything.
That's like, I won't go on rides if they don't have like the tester seats,
right? Something that you can fit in, and right,
so
and know that you want to know.
I just can't comfortably fit in,
right? And you just so I love that they do that, and so I'm sure she was at least I think she was tall enough, and they said no, she wasn't. And so they made us get off the ride, but yet they let this little girl with her sisters, and the oldest sister couldn't have been more than 9 years old. And they were riding. I'm the mom. And, and I'm thinking, why can't me as her mom take her on this ride. But no, I've never had encountered, I've been measured though as an adult. Oh yeah, I've definitely been measured, and which is always funny, but it's also like, it's kind of like when you look young and they card you, and you hate it. And then you get to the age where they stop carding you and you're pissed because now they're not carding you. It's like, you can't win.
You sure you don't want
Yeah, please take my ID. Please look at me. Don't I still look like I'm 12? Nope, I sure don't.
Yeah. No, I have like the opposite problem. I tend to be too big for things.
Yeah.
Even when I was thinner, I had a hard time because I am tall and have a really tall torso. So like anything that goes over my shoulders, it ends up, I can't sit up straight, so I have to like slouch over.
Well,
and then on top of that, then I have big boobs. So like I'm slouching over and it makes that like my whole middle bigger.
Yeah.
So especially now that I'm fatter than I was, like all of this fat just all conglomerates into one area.
Yeah.
And I can't get things like, I can't fit.
Yeah.
It's fine because I don't really enjoy these rides anymore.
Oh, I don't either. They don't feel the same.
Jerky.
Yeah.
And it usually ends up being more painful.
Yeah. I got back and back and neck issues, so yeah, the last thing I need to do is be tossed around on a roller coaster.
Yeah.
The thrill of it, I would love to. Like, I love that thrill. But
yeah,
physically, it's just. We were at Six Flags a couple years ago, out in California with the kids, and I think I rode two roller coasters, and after I got off the second one, I'm like, I know you invited me because I enjoy this, but I don't think I enjoy it anymore. So I think I'll just hang out with the kids, and you guys can, and then you guys can do the rides, and I'll just hang out with the kids. And,
yeah, I've just become, when we go, I'm the I carry everything.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I really like when I go with my sister-in-law because she gets motion sickness, so she doesn't like to do a lot of the rides.
My husband too.
So we usually just like hang out and talk while like John and his nephew go on the rides and stuff. We'll do certain ones.
Yep.
We usually do like the Whizzer and stuff
Yeah,
like that.
is that even still there? Is it still there? Oh, because there's been talk for years about them taking it out and putting in something else. And I'm so glad they haven't. Because to me, that's your first big roller coaster. Yeah. There's no loops. Yeah, there's no loops. And it's certainly not the fastest, but it's like, it's a good coaster to go on.
Yeah.
Before you get on the Demon or Superman or whatever. I don't even know what's there anymore. It's been so long since I've been there. But
I don't remember all of them either.
Yeah, but the Whizzer is I love
John
that.
can tell you all of the rides that are.
I'm sure he can.
John, his like two favorite hobbies are roller coasters and pinball. And he literally like watches videos on YouTube of like people
riding.
Like point of view videos.
Yeah, those are
riding
cool.
the roller coasters.
Those are pretty cool.
Because like there's some that he can't ever get to, so he's like, I'm gonna just check it out on the YouTube.
Years ago, I think right after the kids graduated high school, my oldest, her boyfriend, and they took the youngest. Oh, maybe it might have been a couple years after high school. They might have been in college, but they road tripped to Sandusky, Ohio, and that's supposed to be, is it Sandusky or is it Cedar Point? Cedar Point. That's the one that's got all the, it's supposed to be pretty iconic for their roller coasters, and so they went there.
His 30th birthday.
You went there?
His parents got us like tickets, and we stayed like at the resort that's like right there.
Yeah, that's what they did. That's what they did. They had a blast. They really enjoyed it. So
it is a really cool place.
Yeah.
We eventually want to bring his nephew out there, but he went from like really into roller coasters to he hit a like stage where he got like scared of all of them.
Oh yeah.
And then he started liking roller coasters again, but now he's a teenager. So he's went like down that teenager, like he doesn't want to be around anybody. And Like, he's still a good kid, but like teenagers. So today, we are going to talk about, is it Lammas?
Lammas.
Lammas. I always get that one fucked up. And even no matter how many times I try to say, like, I know that it's pronounced Samhain, but whenever I see it in words, my brain just reads it as Samhain, no matter what I do.
Yeah.
Like, I know better.
Well, I'm sorry. That's definitely one of those words that it doesn't sound anything like it's pronounced.
Yeah.
So I mean, the first and the last letter are about the only thing that makes sense. So
Yep. So, but yeah, Lammas, which is the first harvest.
Yep.
Yeah. And it's also kind of like we're starting to kind of slow down with grooming,
Yep.
usually about this time.
Yep.
There's always nuance, obviously,
Yep.
but like in general, most of the time this is a slower time because people are, trying to get in end of summer fun vacation stuff.
Yeah.
And then school starts and there's the craziness of the start of school. And then it usually starts to pick back up.
I start to get a lot of reschedules.
Yeah.
This time.
Yep.
Because I think for that reason too, all of a sudden, it's a really nice day. We're going to, try to get in one last fishing trip or whatever. There always seems to be that a lot of reschedules for me anyways for this time of year.
Yeah, no, for sure. I've even noticed with Meg, their clients have been rescheduling a lot more. But it's not the end of the world. We can take advantage of it being slower.
Yeah, no, that's good. So I'm just gonna read what this book says. This is this book, Down the Witch's Way. Lammas is the start of autumn and the first harvest. The weather is still very warm, but the leaves begin to brown. Bread is baked and eaten in celebration of the gods and nature's bounty.
All right.
Just a very, very simple understanding of that.
Yeah.
Should I pull a tarot card?
Yeah, if you want to pull a tarot.
So we're following our little what do you call this? Our outline.
Yep.
So I already pulled the card, and it is the King of Cups, and it is care, a good partner, calmness, friendship, emotional control, diplomacy, stability, balance, generosity, wisdom. Yeah.
Yeah.
Balance is in there. I always love that word because I have none. Cups is obviously water, so it's going to be dealing with our feelings and emotions. It's also a moon card and a Scorpio.
Interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, this deck gives
I'm trying to remember
all that
Scorpio. Are they? That's a water sign.
It is a water sign. Yes.
I'm a Cancer.
We're crazy.
Which is a water sign. Very emotional.
My husband's a Scorpio. I don't know how we've managed 34 years with killing each other, but I don't know. We're still young.
Yeah. I used to have friends, and when I say friends, they weren't great friends. They obviously didn't know me very well because I would tell them I'm a Cancer and they'd be like, no, you're not a Cancer. It's because I held my emotions in a lot when I was in my early 20s. So they didn't think I was an emotional person. But I'm like, actually,
I don't think anybody's ever doubted I'm a Scorpio.
Yeah. Nowadays,
to make sense.
And when I was younger, for sure, when my sister got into horoscopes and stuff, one of the first things she said is, it makes so much sense that you're a Cancer. Because I was always dramatic as a kid.
Yeah, I didn't really understand. I would read stuff about Scorpio, and I have a magnet at home that's a Scorpio, and it's got all the, words on it, like volatile and passionate and stuff like that. And of course, a lot of it was very fitting, but it really wasn't until I was much older and really started doing I guess I can refer to it it's kind of like shadow work.
Yeah.
And just, learning about myself. And I did a birth chart and, started to kind of understand and read more into what it is to be a Scorpio and a water sign. And and it's definitely I mean, not everything fits, right? I always tell myself that, just because, these 3 items are not me, doesn't mean these 15, they fit. I still fit that mold. So I get it.
No, since when I was young, and then Now that, like, once I hit 30, people started getting where they're like, yeah, that makes total sense. It was just during my 20s,
Yeah.
because I was holding in all of my emotions
Yeah.
because they were bad. I didn't know how to properly regulate them. So, yeah, they're like, you're not a Cancer. Yes, I am.
Yeah. Just because we
But
learn.
yeah,
We grow and we learn.
yeah,
All right. So it says here to reflect on the theme. So I'm going to read something else that I kind of jotted down from other books that I was kind of looking at to understand llamas.
hmm
Um, it is the first harvest. We bake bread, we express thanks, and we offer sacrifice. So that was a word that I kind of picked up on because I hadn't really seen that before.
yeah,
But for life to continue and the earth to keep sustaining us, we must give something in exchange. When we take something, we must leave something. Even when celebrating abundance, we must be mindful of the future. So reminding us that, we have to give something back. And that would be the sacrifice, right? We're going to
yeah.
take the harvest is us taking. We have to sacrifice. We have to give something back. And then one of the things I also kind of read about was like sacrifice, like when we're doing like altars, like this was just in the book. So I was looking at this because it says, like when we make our sacrifices on our altars, right? We're doing our rituals. We'll put down wine and, cookies or, whatever flowers that we'll put out to offer a sacrifice. And we also have to remember that sacrifices are our thoughts, our efforts, and our actions. So, so that includes like being kind to the earth,
Yeah.
and, recycling when we can recycle, or just choosing products that are better for the earth.
Yeah.
So, like I've been making a much more conscious to try to avoid as much plastic as I can. As I drink from my plastic cup.
Well, you usually don't, in your defense. Brenda is
Don't.
usually really good about bringing her
Yep.
her coffee
Yep.
cup and having them fill
Yep.
that.
If
But
I have a coffee cup, I have a reusable water bottle. I just fill it from the tap. And sometimes that tap water's not good. It depends where we're at. It's not always good tap water. I suffer through it because I don't want to buy a plastic bottle of water.
yeah,
I now buy tooth bites instead of toothpaste, so I don't have tubes of toothpaste. I have a jar.
I tried those. I couldn't handle the texture.
Yeah, yeah. My husband doesn't like them either, but he uses baking soda. So it's
That's also very
right. So that's also environmentally friendly.
yeah.
I use bamboo toothbrushes.
I think my biggest thing with the bites was they were so minty.
Yeah.
Normally I don't mind the mint, but
Yeah.
it kind of had a bite to it.
Yeah.
So
Well, and you know what? And I used to get really, really hung up on the recycling and the plastic, and I used to struggle with it. And I had a conversation with my daughter one time. We were talking about different things. We were talking about like boycotting different companies that we don't align with, or they don't align with our beliefs. Um, and she was telling me, sometimes she still buys Chick-fil-A because her kids love Chick-fil-A, but and she knows Chick-fil-A is not a great company and she doesn't want to contribute to them. Um, but she also, she's got kids and they don't understand, so she's making the kids happy. And she says, so, for her, she offsets it by, whatever she spends at Chick-fil-A, she's going to donate at least that much to, something else. Like she used like Planned Parenthood as an example. And it's like, okay, I get that. Like, I'm not gonna go to Chick-fil-A. I don't have any kids I'm trying to make happy. It's just me and my husband, and we don't need Chick-fil-A. But I don't fault anybody else. I don't fault people for shopping at certain stores. I myself don't shop at them for my reasons. But the other thing we talked about
you're
is
really good about that.
I
Like
have been
that and like
can be.
and like the plastic and stuff.
Yeah,
You're
that's
pretty
the
good about.
Scorpio in me.
Yeah.
It's like it's stubborn to the point. But she said, do what you can.
Yeah.
And I have to. And that's the thing. Like I like coffee in the morning, but I like creamer. And I like my creamer. They don't make my creamer not in plastic. Now I have found some some other brands that come in cartons, and
Yeah.
I'll buy them when I can. But if I can't find those cartons, I'm going to buy the plastic bottle because I like the creamer. And believe me, I struggle with it on a regular basis because
Yeah.
I feel really guilty when I buy it. But then I go, you know what? I'm doing all these other things and I donate.
Yeah.
I do monthly donations to several different organizations that
Yeah, I do a lot of, because to accommodate myself as an autistic person, I do end up like, I have the Walmart Plus. I don't love Walmart, but I am not going to go to a store and grocery shop. It's just, it's not worth it. It's like a whole day event for me to go to the grocery store because I have to prep for it, like prep myself, and it's just so I get my groceries delivered. And Walmart has the Walmart Plus, which I originally got because they have they give you access to an app where you have 20 video call access for a vet.
Yeah, that's what you said. Yeah, that's good.
So that was originally why I got it. And then I started using their grocery delivery, and I also switched to their pharmacy because I can get all of my meds also delivered. So like, but then I'm like, I'll like offset it by donating to, something else.
Yeah.
But like then there's the things like I don't eat at Chick-fil-A.
Right.
I like John's mom loves Chick-fil-A.
We talked about
Yeah. And so like normally I stay far away. I'm like not worth it. I don't like it that much anyways. There's not a reason for me to do it. But like when John's dad died and we were down there for the funeral and stuff, she decided that she wanted to get Chick-fil-A one day for everybody. And John's like, if you want, you can get something else. And I'm like, no, I'm not going to stress her out right now. Like, she was stressed. She wanted her damn Chick-fil-A. I didn't want to make a bigger deal of anything. I'm like, I'll just eat Chick-fil-A this one time. And it's not like I spent the money anyway.
Right. We have to, and yeah, like I said, like I don't fault anybody, I like Starbucks.
Yeah.
There's reasons to not go to Starbucks,
Oh, yeah.
I like Starbucks. I don't go to Starbucks all the time. I would prefer to find like today's coffees comes from Mocha Lisa, nice little shop.
Yeah, nice local place.
Nice local place. And so I love finding those little places like that. Like I would much prefer to buy my coffee at a coffee shop.
Yeah. See,
but
the thing that I struggle with that,
find those.
yeah, not only can you not find them, but also like almost none of them have drive-through.
Oh, right.
And like
you
Mocha Lisa,
gotta get out. You gotta go in.
Like I love Mocha Lisa, and it's a very cute place. Like that, like where you order that room is so small.
Yeah.
And it gives me so much anxiety when I'm in there with a bunch of people. So like I don't like to go there very often. But I do appreciate when I get their coffee.
I was gonna stop there. I think it was Sunday. I was off doing my house call nail trims, and I had to do some back and forth, but I was on this side of town, and I thought, or no, it was Monday. I'm sorry, it wasn't Sunday. It was Monday. And I was going to go to Mocha Lisa. I thought, well, because I had this gap of time before I could go to the next house. So I thought, well, let me stop there because I'm on this side of town. And I get out of the car, and I had time. I figured I had time, but I opened up the door and the line is at the door, and then you got to go up the steps, and I thought, oh, nope, I don't have time for this today. And I just shut the door and nope, can't get coffee.
Yeah.
So, and thankfully I was able to I reached out to the owner of the cat, and they were home so I could go there a little early. So it was fine. But yeah, I love the little coffee shops, but they're not always available to us when we're traveling. And, and Starbucks is, and,
Yeah.
I'll do it.
Yeah, I think I do a lot of offsetting with donations.
Yeah, I do a lot of
especially because I'm trying to accommodate myself a lot of times. I try to offset it with donations. Yeah. We actually have it like as part of our budgeting.
Are you
like we budget for the year?
Tithing, right? Is that what it's tithing, tithing? When you give it to the church?
We don't give it to the church.
No, I know, but that word, that tip.
I think so. Yeah.
When you're given to the church and you do it, that's what I'm doing that, but I'm doing it with Planned Parenthood, the Satanic Temple, NPR.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna have
You know that there's like a regional Satanic Temple.
There's a Wisconsin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you can actually be like a member where you're going in, like doing things.
Yeah, they actually have it's is it Madison?
There's one in Racine.
Oh no, I didn't know that.
Yeah, my friend actually, she just joined. She was
To that. I mean,
there was like an interview process and stuff.
Oh, that's funny.
I'm like a general member of the Satanic Temple.
Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, I love
and I donate to them.
I love their tenants. I think they're they're amazing. I love the work they do. And that's why anti-religion work that they do. You want to put the 10 Commandments on the White House lawn? Well, guess what? We're putting Baphomet there too. So I love that.
Yeah,
which is really why I joined.
Yeah, I joined them mostly just I wanted to support them. I'm like I want them to have their numbers that they need. Yep. I donate to them.
Yep. Me too.
I thought it was cool. I don't really have an interest in becoming like an active member like she did, but I thought it was really cool. Yeah. They did like an interview and they have like different events and stuff. They ask you to be to do like one thing a month. And she's just wanting to like get out and meet more people. Good for her. And she was trying to find people more like her. Yeah. So I thought it was really cool. I didn't realize that there was like regional
well, no. Yeah. I mean, I knew there was a Wisconsin, a place in Wisconsin that they actually were, but I didn't know they had anything that local. So.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure Racine and might have been like Milwaukee, but like it was
curious to look into it because I mean, I just think that's pretty cool. Yeah. I don't fault anybody for picking a church or anything like that. You do what you want to do.
Yeah, you donate to whatever you want. I just don't donate to the church.
Yeah, no, we don't. We're not members of
except for the Satanic.
Even when we did go to church, we never signed up for the. They would send us those envelopes.
Yeah.
And then I would throw them away, or we would just forget them. And we always put money in when we went.
Yeah.
But it's like, I'm not gonna give them money if I'm not even gonna be there.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's just me.
John still gets from like the church that he went to with his family in Waukegan, like when he was a teenager, he still gets letters from them. They somehow followed us. It's like, how do you still know our address? That's so funny. We moved. But yeah, we were talking about sacrifice and there's all sorts of different ways that you can kind of give back.
Well, and as groomers, our time, I do a lot of, when we spend extra time with animals, we're sacrificing our own time to do that sometimes if we're not necessarily, unless you are getting paid. I mean, some people charge hourly. So if if they're going to spend an extra 15 minutes, they're going to get paid for it. I don't do that. Speaking of,
a husky?
It sounds like it, or a cocker spaniel. But we sacrifice time. We can sacrifice money. I mean, how I do a lot of work that's I'm not getting paid for. I'll drop off and pick up cats sometimes, and
I know a lot of
tips me very well, but I don't charge her. To do that.
And I know a lot of groomers will do like free ones for rescues and stuff. We do free student grooms for rescues. I think Meg even has done a couple free ones. I think she actually has done a couple. I'm like, you don't have to. But I think she chooses to. They choose to. But and like I even have a couple of clients that like they started as student dogs, but like when we don't have students, I keep up with them and I do it for the same price as the student pricing because I just feel like I'm like I can donate my time and they're giving my students a chance to work with this coat when my students are here. So I'll donate my time to keep up with them. So like I have a Keyshawn. That's not a coat you get to work with very often.
No.
And so I keep her up. I know that she doesn't have a whole lot of extra funds to like pay what my normal price was.
Right.
So
to maintain that coat.
you know, so I still do her dog
Yep.
for $40.
Yeah, because you want it to be available when your students need it. I get it.
Yeah.
I get it. I just I had a groomer reach out to me to shadow me a day with cat grooming. She wants to start doing cat grooming, but she doesn't really have a lot of experience. She's, done some work with her own cats, but she's never really done it with her clients. So I'm trying to like set up a day. We have a day picked, and I'm trying to kind of cherry pick the clients I want to come. And I have one client with two cats, and they're both Persians. They get lion cuts, and they're getting a little bit older now. And Duncan is phenomenal. Like I've taken him to Chicago to use as a demo for Blake used him as a demo once, and he literally just sat on the table. And if you've ever been in one of Blake's seminars, he talks a lot.
Yeah.
He's very engaging. And so it was so funny because he was just talking and doing, like Q&A and talking about the seminar topic, but he wasn't doing a lot of the visual stuff until like the very end. But so, for like 45 minutes, this cat just sat on the table.
Yeah.
And didn't move. And nobody was holding him and no one was messing with him. He just sat there. And then, he was a perfect angel. So I love him as a demo. His sister she's a bit of a pistol, but I think it'll be good.
Yeah.
Good to show. Now, the only drawback to that is I pick them up and drop them off because mom doesn't have a vehicle. She's a public transportation person, which I totally appreciate. So I drop off and pick up for her. So I'm trying to figure out what other clients I can schedule so that I can, give this groomer a good, and then I just had somebody else in the pro groomer network. Somebody was looking to learn cats, and they're in Illinois. And I had mentioned, in Wisconsin, I don't know where you're at in Illinois, but I'm in Wisconsin. And then somebody else was like, hey, we're in Wisconsin. We want to shadow. And I'm like, oh, we can figure that out.
Awesome.
Yeah, except that my schedule is so bizarre, like I was talking at the last one, sometimes I'll have 3 cats this week and sometimes I'll have 9 cats this week or, and then they'll reschedule. So it's kind of like, but as an incentive, like with these 2, I'm not charging her. I'm doing these cats for free.
I do that too.
Because I want them to be available. Like I don't want them to not be available. I want her to know that I appreciate that she lets me use them for these things. Yeah. So I'm doing them for free.
Now I've done that where I've had private lessons where there was one, I did a private lesson with someone who wanted to learn better on how to do like a silhouette trim on a Sheltie. But she couldn't bring the Sheltie with her. So I had a collie client from like we use for students. She's actually the lady's mom is a groomer, and so normally her mom grooms the dogs, but she brings them for my students a lot. And so I'm like, hey, can we borrow your dog? It's no charge.
Yeah,
you got a full groom because I needed to use them, but it was worth the sacrifice.
Us sacrificing for the greater good. Right?
Yeah.
So it's
Oh my god. Little off topic, but I did a private lesson the other day. I've been doing quite a few private lessons, but I did one. It was this couple that wants to learn how to groom their own dog.
Okay.
And they're so cute. Like they were like the cutest couple ever. And then they've got this cute little cavapoo. And so it was so funny. They came in and they already had like a plan that dad was going to do like most of the grooming stuff and mom is kind of more emotional support and like keeping the dog comfortable. So they like came in with that plan and it was so cute watching them do like work together. It was I'm like, you guys are such a cute couple. But yeah, they learned how to groom their own dog.
Good.
So and he did a pretty good job for his first time.
I love that. So Gateway, they had put out I think it was on Facebook. I seen it. They were offering these, or they're going to be offering. I think they're going to start offering this fall. So I need to probably reach out again. But they're going to offer these like community courses. I don't know what they're charging. I don't really know any of the details on it, but they listed like some different courses, and then there were, so I reached out. And because my husband works at Gateway, so I've always been trying to get.
You got the in.
I'm trying to get the in, right? Like I'm trying to like, hey, they have a vet program. Why don't you add grooming? But they're not there yet. But these community courses, I reached out and I said, hey, I did a pet grooming at home course for Parkside years ago. And then I did, and it's the candle. And then I
was like, what is that dripping?
And then I did an advanced pet grooming course again for Parkside. But it's not like it's not like a full on
it's just basic.
Right. Yeah. It's just like it's just like bathing, brushing and combing, nail care.
Were they able to like bring their dog?
No. So no, I brought my dog as a visual. And I showed people how to hold a brush, how to use your comb, get down to the skin, out and everything. The line brushing. I showed them that on my dog, and they were able to come up and try it out.
I wanted,
but I didn't have. But no, they weren't allowed to bring their own dog. Now I don't know how Gateway is going to do it, because I just reached out. They're very interested, but somebody is supposed to contact me so we can go over the details. So I'm not entirely sure. So I'm actually had to redo my program, because of course the original one is gone. Like I looked for it. I pulled out, I had a CD, right? that I had a bunch of stuff from a computer on. And I thought, oh, this is it.
No.
Because what happened is I had a binder, the CD. I took it to Allison to look at.
Ceiling fell off.
Right, to look at it, because we were talking about we could do something like this at her salon, like you said, and we could have people bring their pets, and and I left it there, and and then that was the first flood. They flooded like 4 times, so that was the first flood, and it's gone. Oh. It just got destroyed. So I made that mistake of having it all together.
Yeah. I've been wanting to do a program similar to my youth program for adults.
Yeah.
Just like learning basic pet care stuff.
Yes.
I do want to like make sure that they learn basic CPR and first aid.
Yeah.
And then like a little bit of behavior, but then also just like learning how to maintain their dogs.
Yeah.
Show them how to bathe and brush and do nails and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I've been wanting to do that.
We should
gotten to it yet.
Yeah, we should really work on that, because we could probably put something together. We could put something together that we could do it like it could be a day-long class.
Yeah.
But
I also I did a private lesson a few weeks ago for it was a dad and his son, because the son wants to get into dog grooming when he's older. He's like 10 right now, but they're going to kind of start their little side business doing bathing dogs for their neighbors, basically. So dad was there to kind of learn how to supervise, and the kid was learning how to actually do it. It was so cute. I love like doing those types of lessons, because it's a whole different ball game than like teaching someone who's a groomer.
Well,
but
the thing of it is, when you offer a class and you actually like charge money, even if it's just a little bit of money, but you charge some money for it, you get the people that usually really want to learn.
Yeah.
Right. When you're just trying to teach your clients how to brush their dogs or their cats, it rarely works the way you want it to, because for the most part, they're coming to you to do the job for them. They don't want to.
Yeah.
They don't want to.
No, actually, that's one of the things I've noticed with the schools, because I've been trying to go to like other people's schools. And in the spring, I went to Iowa and I got to see the program at DMAC, the Des Moines, it's their community college, basically. And so I was talking to Brianna, the teacher there, and she's amazing. But she was telling me how she gets a lot of students because they have like financial aid and stuff set up. And actually with their program, they have a thing where it can pay for a lot of people to do the class. So they don't have to actually pay to do the program.
Yeah.
But then she ends up with a lot of students who don't try. Like, they don't care. Where I was like, I don't have that problem because I'm a private school. They have to pay the money. Like, as much as I'd like to do financial aid, I can't do that yet. But like, they are paying me good money. They're like really invested.
Yeah.
And all of my students, like, a couple of them have had some help from their parents, but they're paying for it.
Yeah.
So they're invested.
There's a groomer. I don't know if it's a school or if it's just a groomer that started a prison program on the West Coast. I don't know if it was Washington or Oregon. That would be kind of cool if we could do something like that.
I've been wanting to try to get a hold of there's the girls.
Yeah. The women's? Or you're not talking about the prison.
There's the youth,
you're talking about the youth one? Okay.
I've been wanting to try to talk to them to try to, because I think those kids, those young teenagers and stuff, I'll
be honest with
you, a little lost.
They are very lost. And I honestly stick with the adults.
I like kids.
I do too. I do too, but I don't know.
I mean, I think if I did it, it would be like there would be an interview process. I know
myself as a teenager, an angry teenager, and I think if I were that same angry teenager that I was then, now, I would probably stab someone if I could get a hold of scissors and stab someone.
Valid.
Whereas I just didn't have that access when I was younger. But like, I don't know if I would go into adults can stab people too.
Yeah. So I have coached a woman who's working on doing a school for a prison in California, actually.
Okay.
Which I thought was really cool. She worked in the prison as like a guard or something. Okay. So she was familiar with it. But yeah, I thought that was a really cool idea to like.
Yeah, I don't know how many hoops you'd have to jump through.
Yeah, there's definitely.
So my kids' school, when they were in elementary school, they used to have a career day.
Yeah.
And and they would have, parents come in and talk about their careers. And I always went in as the groomer, and I would bring a dog or a cat or a couple of dogs, and so it was always a hit, right? Because they want to see the dogs, they want to see the cats. And then I did a career day with a friend of mine, and with his students, there was a communication breakdown because they were a little bit older.
Mm.
And I was still approaching it
like a kid,
like the kids, because this is I've done career day. Mm-hmm. Whereas he was looking at it like, how is this a career? Like, how much can you make? How do you learn it?
Yeah.
Where the little ones, it's not that.
They just need to,
even though they call it career day, they're not really,
It's an introduction.
Yeah. So anyway, so that happened there. But I often think about just having something like that, just like a career day kind of program offered to the youth. Not where you actually go in and teach them the career necessarily, but if you have a bunch of different career, skilled labor, stuff that's not out of reach.
Yeah.
Right. Actually, I think there's so many things that are out of reach for so many people. Yeah. That this country doesn't, they don't care. I mean, we have an administration now that just doesn't care. But even prior administrations, like, there's a lack of understanding. There's definitely a disconnect with the people that are running things and the people that are actually living it. And there's this disconnect. And we went for like decades of gotta go to college, gotta go to college, gotta go to college. Everybody gets a business degree, and there's nothing to do with that. Yep. Meanwhile, all the jobs that need people are going unfilled because nobody wants to do work. They just want to, run the company. So there's that happens. So I think having programs in the prisons and even in the youth, the detention centers, that can teach, these young people that
here's
There's
Pat.
other things to do.
There's other things.
Just because you can't afford to go to college doesn't mean that you can't be successful.
Right. People talk about like apprenticeships and like journeymen, like plumbers and electricians, and I mean, valid. Get those opportunities out there. Let
My
know. I mean, that's a skill.
my one cousin, he became a lineman. Holy shit, you can make some money once you get going.
Yes, well, even his career, like we've talked in previous episodes that, we're not gonna get rich doing this, but some people can make really good money.
Yeah, people who,
right, people buy cars and houses with the money they make from dog hair. I appreciate that. But one thing that I think what I hold on to more than anything is that I have a marketable skill. I can go anywhere. I can go anywhere in this country. I can go anywhere in any other country, and I have a marketable skill that
I've got
as long as my hands work.
I've got the certificate that says that I'm eligible to groom real dogs in Korea now.
There you go. See, so I mean, I can do this. I can do this anywhere. It's something I can always fall back on.
Yeah, even if you change.
Right, even if I will decide to change careers. And
I've seen a lot of people where they've done grooming for a while while they went to college, and then they, do whatever career, and then they're like, I don't want to do this anymore, and go back to grooming.
I always thought it was so funny. I remember this was years ago, and I think I was probably only about, I don't know, maybe 5, 6, 7 years into grooming, and we were shopping for furniture. Isn't that ironic? I just bought me furniture. We were shopping for furniture, and the person that was, and so we had to, oh, excuse me, sorry, I didn't mean to spit on you, but the person, we had to fill out our financial stuff so we could buy this furniture, and she commented, because I'm a pet groomer, I used to groom, and I remember thinking, what do you mean used to? Like,
I mean, this isn't your whole life,
right? Like, because I'm just thinking, and I've had other jobs, I've groomed on the side while I've worked in retail, but I also, it's like, but when I tell people what I do for a living, grooming is always the first thing. Oh, and I'm an associate at Walmart or wherever the hell I was working at the time, but groomer's always the first thing. So well, even now, like,
I'm actually just mostly teaching. I'm not really grooming,
right?
And I still tell people I'm a groomer because that's just
because that's the career.
Yeah. But yeah. No, I've done a few career things. I think it's really cool. Gurney, their high school, they do a lot of events throughout the year, and we actually go to them a lot of times. So they have a skilled trades fair where it's all skilled trades. So it's us, and they usually have a dog trainer, they have plumbers, those types of things. But then they have a regular career fair that we go to as well, where it's all careers. And it's actually really cool to see, and they're just learning about all the different choices.
Yeah.
I didn't see that when I was a kid. We didn't have that. It was you go to college.
Yeah.
Period. And then, it was you go to college, and so I'm like, well, I want to do pet care. I want to work with animals. Okay, well, be a vet. And then I was told I couldn't be a vet. So
yeah, I know.
So
well, that's like if you tell somebody, especially when you're young, and that's the other thing, with careers, being in school and being asked, what do you want to do? There's always this idea that, you have to aim higher than that. And, what if I don't want to aim higher than that? What if, when I worked in retail too, I worked for a retail that they constantly wanted you to move up,
Mm-hmm.
Today you're an associate, tomorrow you're going to be a department manager, and then you're going to be an assistant store manager, and a co-store manager, and a store manager, and a regional manager, and all these, it's like they just want you to move up. And it's like, I'm fine just being the associate, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm fine just helping the customers, and putting stuff on the shelves. I don't need a title.
Yeah.
Although I did get a title. I did move up a little bit, but not.
I like titles.
Yeah, I do like titles. I do like to give myself titles.
You know who really likes titles? Mick.
Yeah.
anytime anytime I can give Meg a new title, it's like, oh, I have a new title.
Yeah, they're all over it. I get it.
It gives them lots
It's like
of
those.
dopamine.
It's like those letters after our names, right? When we go and we do the certifications and stuff like that. And I remember, I can think of. I mean, I know there's more number of groomers will do this, but I think of one in particular where like there's like just so many letters after their name, and it's just like, I get it. You're proud of it. You should be proud of it. But
damn,
really,
that's a lot of letters.
nobody knows what half of those letters mean.
Yeah.
Right? Like, it's like, I don't really know what those letters mean.
Yeah.
There's just too many letters.
I'm too lazy with the letters.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, your dog.
No bones.
He just like tipped over. That was funny. No bones. That's a good way to put it.
No bones. So back to.
Well, I think we should just skip around, but go ahead. Where are we at? You tell me where we're at.
I mean, we're still in that grooming and witchery chat. We did talk about how it's not just money, it's time, space, clarity, and rest.
Right.
Witchy reflections. Because right now it is a slow time, it is a good moment to kind of reflect and prep for the fall rush.
Okay.
/ holiday rush, because that's coming up too. But, just because you're not grooming dogs all day doesn't mean that there's not plenty to do.
Well, and that's a good thing too. We should talk about that. I mean, now we can talk about it at like holiday episodes too. Is when you have downtime, because we don't get a lot of downtime, but when we have downtime, there's so many. I mean, we need to take care of ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
We need to take the rest.
Yep.
When we can, because you know what? There's times when that rest is not there.
We do not rest.
We do not rest. We don't sit down to eat. We don't drink enough water. We don't step away from the table and take a walk. We don't do any of those things. And we can't, right? Rightfully so. Like we're just that busy. So when we have those downtimes, we really need to just take advantage. It's almost sad when I see people in groups that go, oh my gosh, I'm so slow right now. What do you do? And I get it, because you're looking at it, you're coming from a place where I need the money, right? Like I have to pay my bills. If I don't groom X amount of dogs a week, a month, I'm gonna be struggling to pay my bills. So I get that. It's also like take advantage of this time to rest, to prepare, because it's not gonna be like this forever, right? Like you're not gonna be slow forever, and you need to be.
When I was mobile at this time of year, when it started to slow down, I'm like, okay, I'm going to deep clean the van. I'm going to get stuff. This is the time when I usually would start thinking about gifts for clients, like Christmas gifts. My boss would cover, like, she'd get like gifts for everybody, but I would make special gifts for my like special clients.
Yeah.
And so it was a really good time. I'd start sitting down and thinking about, okay, what gift do I want to give them this year?
Yeah.
And start like getting the materials or whatever, because I usually make it. So the one year I did like paw prints on like a little
plaster or whatever.
Yeah, I think it was a stamp paw print.
Oh, okay.
And then I just put it on these like wooden ornaments.
Yeah.
And then I'd bring them home and I put their name on it, and I clear coated it. And so I gave them their little paw prints. So like I did all of those in like August that year. And actually it was funny because I had one that like one of their dogs passed away before Christmas.
Yeah.
And I had their paw print, and I was like, it was before Christmas, like before the holidays actually hit, and the dog passed away. He was older. It was, time. But I was like, well, so I gave it to her at that next time I saw her, and I'm like, this was going to be your Christmas gift, but I think you need it now, kind of thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is the time when you want to just kind of.
And that's a very good Christmas.
Yeah.
I mean, it's July, August, but you're slowed down. Think about your Christmas projects now.
Yeah.
Because, after Halloween,
you don't have time to think about it then.
It's going to be really crazy. And and it's going to be harder to put stuff together, and it's going to be, start working on it now. Like, I mean, what whatever you're doing, whatever you can work on now, you know what, maybe it's just gathering the materials so you're ready. You know, let's using your ornaments. You know, I gotta buy the little squares, and I gotta put a little hook and a ribbon on them. I will do that now. You know, so that's good to go. You know, just having all that stuff prepared. You know, think about that when you're done. Get your bandanas ready. You know, if you're cutting your bandanas, cut that material now.
If you're making your own bows, make your bows now.
Right. You know, do the holiday stuff that you're gonna, you know, that you're gonna be kicking yourself. I tell you what, I never did
Gifts.
Never did gifts. And there were times when I wanted to do gifts. I take that back. I think I did do some. I think I did a dog treats.
Yeah.
One year. I did them once, and it was like, to me, it was just too much work to do. You know, and I get the you know, I appreciate my customers, and I want them to know I appreciate them and I thank them. But yeah, I just gifts and yeah, and quite frankly, I don't know. I mean, I love to get my tips, and if they want to give me a little extra at the holiday times, I so appreciate it. But you know, I would have customers that would bring me like gifts, and it's like, you know, thank you, but I don't really need it.
Wine I had to
I used to get
bring home, and I felt so
Yeah.
weird bringing it home in the van, and I'm like, I'm not drinking it, I swear.
Yeah, I don't really like wine, so but I would get wine as gifts.
I'd get wine.
I would get towels.
In Illinois, I'd get
towels. Well, I mean, that's something you're using now. You know, that's useful. Bring me cookies. I'll take the cookies. I will take your baked goods. Bring me the baked goods.
I had a
gift
client
cards.
who would make me soup every time I groom their dogs.
I would get gift cards, and I would get gift cards to stores that I don't shop at. And then I would, I mean, it would, like, I had one customer give me like a $50 gift card to, I don't remember what, it was like a little specialty store. And it's like, there is nothing in this store that I want. And I ended up regifting the gift card to a family member that would use it, which, I mean, that's fine too.
I had one client who they were very nice, but you know, they had their truck flag in the garage.
I'm sorry you had to deal with that.
She was so nice, but we just didn't talk about it.
Yeah.
But
I mean, I have some
she would always give me, like, she'd give me a tip, but she'd also give me a gift card. I don't know. She seemed to have, I don't know if like for her work or something she was getting a lot, but she always give me like a $15 gift card to something. But it was always like Chick-fil-A.
Right, those places.
So for all those, there was one girl who was obsessed with Chick-fil-A. Like, they loved the food.
Whatever.
And that worked with me. And so I just, here's another Chick-fil-A gift card. Enjoy. Yeah. But the other thing, you know, so a lot of you were talking about how, you know, we're worried about not making enough money.
Right.
A lot of groomers tend to get into like that scarcity mindset of like, oh God, how am I going to pay my bills? And I think the biggest thing is you should be plan it based off of your slowest times. Plan your budget based off your slowest times. That way, when you're busy, all that's just extra money.
Yeah.
Like.
Yeah. And save some of that extra money.
Yeah. Try to save that extra money.
Yeah, don't think, oh, look, I got extra money. Let's go spend it. Try to save some of it.
Yeah, but we want to try to, like, see it in a different way. We want to change our mindset on that. Instead of it being, like, a scarcity mindset of, like, oh, God, how am I going to pay my bills? Let's try to switch it to, okay, it's going to be slower right now. I'm going to take my rest. I'm going to enjoy it. Yeah. And try to make use of it versus dreading it.
Yeah.
It's funny, actually, posted the other day something about, like, during this slow time, you know, make sure you're resting or whatever.
Did you post that, or did Petrie post that?
It might have been Petrie. It was either Petrie or Taylor.
Yeah. I think you're trying to take credit for stuff they do.
That's true. I mean, they're in the picture. But yeah, so someone actually commented on it last night, and they were like, wait, I'm not the only person slow right now? And I'm like, no, it's not. Like, this is totally normal. Like,
we're also in a, okay, so we're in, and I tell you what, brace yourselves, because it's more than likely going to get worse, right? Like, the economy is not great right now. There's a lot of people. You mentioned your a client that was a Trump supporter. I have a client. They're also Trump supporters, and they're moving, right? He retired. They have a property in Florida. Well, they belong there, right? And they're great. I mean, I love them. I do. It was depressing. It was very depressing to know that they were Trump supporters and that they want to go to Florida. But whatever. She's trying to find a job.
Yeah.
And she's struggling.
Yeah.
She's struggling to find a job. And the reality is that's going to be happening a lot. And there was this whole mindset not too long ago that was all over. I mean, there's still people that are all over this DEI and how bad DEI is. And it's like, DEI is not giving jobs to people that don't deserve them.
It's giving them the opportunity to get the job.
To people that deserve them, that might not get the opportunity based on their sex,
their skin,
the color of their skin, maybe their religious affiliation, their age. There's all these things that DEI covers, their sexual orientation, all these things that DEI covers. And you know what? If you're a Republican white woman, you're probably a DEI hire, because
100%.
Because I
mean, just being a woman.
Yeah, just being a woman. It puts you in that category. Like, in my lifetime, not so much in yours, but in my lifetime, women couldn't get their own bank account without a man. That changed since I've been on this earth.
Yeah.
So
it wasn't long before I was on this earth.
Right. So that changed while I was on this earth. So it's not that long ago that women were, and we've always, we still are. Like, we're still second class.
Yeah. And it's even worse if
you're a person of color or you're LGBTQ.
Yeah. It gets even worse.
You just fall even further down. But here she is. She's a professional. She's got a degree, and she can't get a job.
Yeah.
I want to feel bad for her, but who'd you vote for?
You voted for it.
Yeah. Because quite frankly, you voted for this.
And I would like to point out, yes, you're right that things are going to get worse. But another thing to think about, trying to recalibrate the way that we think. Miss Doom.
Guilty. Yeah, you're right. I'm guilty of that.
We are lucky enough to be in an industry that it is going to get hit.
Oh, yeah.
Like, we all know it's going to get hit.
Yeah.
But it is still very
vital and essential.
Yeah. And it's not something that's just going to go away.
No.
There's even if people stop getting dogs, there's still so many dogs already here, and they're not going to stop getting them groomed. Yeah. They might do it less frequently, they might look for cheaper options, but there's still plenty of dogs to get groomed.
Yeah, and I guess and you're right, I shouldn't be such a doomsdayer. But I also look at that, because I groom cats, and it's already a tough field. Right. I mean, I'm already dealing with people. Cats groom themselves.
Yeah.
I don't see them until they're 15 and pelted. Right. So I'm already up against it. And I think it's going to get harder, for me.
No, the cat grooming definitely is going to get hit harder than dogs.
Absolutely. And yeah. And we have to be prepared for that.
Yeah.
And here's the thing that I look at, because I see this all the time in groups, when people are talking about their prices, and and a lot of people go, raise your prices, right? You're looking for the customers that can afford you. Yes, I would agree, but I would also say that there's also clients out there that maybe can't afford you, that you should maybe think about, and not that you should lower your prices to cater to the people that don't have the money, but maybe consider adding a couple of those, those clients and take a little less, keep it hush hush, because you know what? They're the ones that are gonna probably be more loyal to you than the ones with the money.
Yeah.
That's just the truth.
Yeah.
That's
No,
I've
I've actually
30 years of experience with clients that the ones that tip the best are usually the ones that don't have it. The ones that are, that cancel last minute, are very demanding and don't give you shit for tips. Usually, they're the ones driving the brand new cars.
Yeah. I actually noticed a lot when I was mobile. So we had a pretty wide range in Northern Illinois.
Yep.
And so I would have clients that were which is, they're not, a lot of them are lower income, but they would, they were very loyal. They were very nice. They would give me as much tip as they could. They tried to stay as much on a regular schedule as possible. They did everything they could to make sure that they could stay with me.
Right.
Versus, which was my least favorite place to go to, because those people have more money, but it's a lot of new money that they didn't have to work for. It's like a lot of them, they didn't really have to work for it. And I noticed it also with like the old money in the like area, which was North Shore, very, very rich, and old money because it was like generational wealth. They were like, they would just hold on to it.
Yep.
And so they, like, those places, they didn't tip well. They didn't respect us. I hated those clients.
Right. You're the help.
Yeah. Versus then there was also, which also very well off, but they were young people who were working up to that richness. They didn't get it from their family. It wasn't just kind of an easy thing for them to get. They had to work for that shit. And they appreciated us so much more.
Yeah.
Like it was very,
You learn who those clients are for you. And like you said, you just named 4 different areas. I know nothing about those areas.
Yeah.
Nothing about, because I'm not from there either. But I couldn't tell you that around here.
Yeah.
Because that's not something that I've picked up on. You picked up on that.
Well, it was easier because it was mobile. So.
Well, yeah, and you were traveling to those areas. But like I can go, like, we have Racine, we have there's a different vibe in all of those areas. But I still wouldn't necessarily be able to go this.
Yeah.
I mean, what you're saying.
Yeah. I mean,
I
like around here, I think is actually, especially the ones that are a little bit more rural, but in general, California, I've noticed from the groups, it's a lot of people with lots of money, but they complain about everything and they're constantly angry. But like a lot of, and obviously there's nuance. Not everybody in one area is the same. This is generalized, but like, I've noticed the people from that we get here, because we're kind of like on a,
yep, you're in the middle.
In the middle. So like those people from are more difficult to work with.
Yeah.
They're picky.
Yeah.
They're bitchy.
Yeah.
They complain about the prices. And then like people from like further south, more like lower income, but usually very appreciative, very nice. Yep. And then like people, I don't even want, I can't stand it. Meg is in one of the groups and shows me some of the stuff in there, and I'm like, I don't know how you can handle all of like any of those, like, and that's Meg's kind of favorite. I don't know. Meg does really well with like the old rich people for some reason. Like her clientele is like little old ladies and then nervous millennials. We were talking about. I like I tend to like the more lower income people. I feel more comfortable around them. I don't feel like the help. I hate when I feel like the help. I remember going to the Walgreens house, like the people who owned Walgreens. And I mean, they were nice enough people or whatever, but like it was always chaotic. There was always somewhere new they wanted me to fucking park. That drove me nuts because on the North Shore, for some reason, they all have 16 driveways. So you have to find the right one. So, but they would never communicate well with us. You know, I'd go to grab the dog and like people would just like walk right past me and ignore me. And I'd be like, hey, do you know where the dog is? Like, and just like, it was, I hated going there because it was so chaotic and and everyone treated me like the help. I actually have there was one client actually who was also very well off who was like that. He owns like 6 different businesses in area and I refuse to go to any of them. Right? Because I'm like, the thing that got me for that guy was I got to his house, big old fucking mansion, hands me the dog, matted as hell, and they smelled terrible. Yeah. I had to give them each 3 baths to get the smell tolerable. And then they handed me, it was around Christmas time, so they handed me like a card in an envelope, and they're like, the tip's in there. And the way they acted, it was like, oh, I gave you such a nice tip. Yeah. They gave me $5 for their 2 dogs. It was like $180, $5 tip. Yeah, I believe it. Yeah. I'm like, you have 6 very successful businesses here. Yeah. And they're all like restaurants.
And there are people that'll tell you that's how they keep their money because they don't just frivolously hand it out.
But and that's fine. But like, then I'm like, well, how are they treating their wait staff if they treat me like this? Right. I mean, they supposedly love their dog, and they treat it like they don't give a shit about the person taking care of it. Who, like, how well are they taking care of their staff?
They're not.
Yeah. And I make sure to tell everyone in that area whenever they mention any of those restaurants, I'm like, he's an asshole. Sorry, got off on
No, we both did. Yeah, we both did.
So this is also a good time to start doing some letting go rituals as well. You know, letting go of things that don't serve us, clients, habits, thoughts. A nice way to kind of symbolically let go for a ritual. You can write whatever it is, you know, client's name on a piece of paper and then burn or shred it. You should still actually take action, not just symbolism.
Yeah.
If you're gonna fire a client, you can't just burn their name.
It's in my head.
Yeah.
I just had a client do that. She reached out to me. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I responded to this text in my head.
I do that all the time.
Because it was like 6 a.m. And I started typing it out, and then I was like, whoa, it's 6 a.m.
Yeah.
So then, I was like, oh, 8 to 9, somewhere there, I'll text. Well, then it was like after 10 o'clock, and she responded, she sent me another message. I was like, oh my God, I responded to you.
In my head. Yeah, I tell people that all the time. I'm like, I swear I responded to you in my head. Yeah. Sorry. It's also a good time to kind of, we've talked about kind of doing this is a good time to clean and stuff, but you can also do kind of an energetic reset in general.
Yeah.
Maybe you do a deep clean and then you like do like a not smudging, cleansing.
I had a massage and downtime. Now, I know it costs money, and if you're not making money, it's hard to justify spending money. But that's, another reason why you need to include, you put some of these things into your budget.
Yeah.
When you're making your budgets for your business, don't just make, how much shampoo costs or sharpening costs, but think about the cost to your body, that you're going to need to, put in money for a massage, even if it's just once a month.
Yeah.
A mani-pedi, what's it cost to get a mani-pedi? Put that in, include that in your business expenses.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I don't know. I don't think you can't really take those off your taxes necessarily. I don't know. Maybe your account.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But it's
the
also
fact
a
that you
business expense.
it is a business expense. You know,
Yeah.
put that in there because you know what? When you're slow,
Go to the
and
Korean spot.
you know, yeah, like when you're making all kinds of money during the holidays, but you're not expecting it, you put that away in your business fund, and then you know in August, September when it's slow,
You can use it.
hit up that spa that you've been wanting to try because now suddenly you have a half a day off, or you have 2 half days in the week. How about you move move some clients so you have one full day off?
Yeah.
And go to that spa. Just I leave wiggle room in my schedule.
Yeah.
For anything, right? Like somebody calls me, hey, let's get lunch or whatever. I have wiggle room.
Yeah.
And I'm also very open with my clients, and sometimes I reschedule them. Hey, is there any chance you could come tomorrow?
Yeah.
And I don't have to tell them why. And if they say, oh, I'm not available tomorrow, then you just say, oh, no big deal. Come today.
Yeah.
Then that's fine. Come today. But yeah, if they can move to tomorrow, I find there's so many times when I dread it, right? Like, oh, I don't want to reschedule my client. Oh, but then I'll reach out and I'll be fine. Like, like if I have to wake up with a migraine or something.
Yeah.
But then it's so many times I'll reach out and go, hey, I need to reschedule. And they're like, oh, I'm so glad you reached out because because I was going to have to reach out to you. Like, it just worked out. Like, rarely have I had anybody get really snippy about it.
Yeah.
It
very rarely happens.
Yeah, I can't even say I remember it happening ever.
And that's why it's important to like only keep the clients that are good. Like if it's somebody who gets upset when you have to reschedule, and it's one thing to feel upset, like, oh darn, like that day didn't work out.
Right.
But when they're starting to take it out on you, like that's a problem.
Yeah.
Maybe just get rid of those ones.
Yeah.
There's other clients that can fill their spot that aren't going to be dicks.
Yeah.
So, and if everyone did that, then those people would learn that they have to respect.
Yeah. I had a client fire herself, She got real snippy about, and I was doing her a favor all over the place. Like, I'm coming to you, and then you're pissy because I canceled at the last minute, but it's also Wisconsin winter, and I did forewarn you that there's a lot of snow. I can't get out of my driveway, so I reach out and I'm not going to make it. And then you're pissed because your garage door is open when you told me you weren't going to open. You were going to open the garage door when I told you I was on my way. So technically, you opened your garage door a half an hour before you should have.
Yeah.
By me even saying I'm on my way, but she ended up firing herself.
Yep.
She was an ass about it.
Yep.
She called me 2 years later, a year and a half later,
begging to come back.
Pretty much.
Nice.
Pretty much. And
Did you take her back?
Yeah. And she's
a good client now.
Well, she's the one whose cat I bring here.
Okay.
Yeah, so she's on this side of town now.
Yeah.
But yeah, we've had a lot of ups and downs, but we've managed to. She's probably a Scorpio. I should ask.
So you can also work on setting up your little grooming altar.
Yes. Yeah.
Putting crystals by your station, flameless candles. Please don't do flames.
Yeah.
Or the gratitude jar. I really like the idea of the gratitude jar. I used to do it a lot where I would have it by my station and I just had some like little piece of paper and a pen sitting there. Anytime something good happened, even the tiniest thing, like client was happy, I'd throw it in there. And then when I was in a bad mood, I'd pull one out. And that was like, this is a good, because sometimes it's helpful.
Fluffy didn't lose his shit when I turned his name.
Yeah. Yeah. It really helped me for changing my mindset at the time because I wasn't in a great salon. And so I was miserable working for that place, but I couldn't leave yet. There's a process there. You want to find another job. So it was a good way for me to keep my perspective more on the good stuff. And I learned to kind of catch myself when I was going into that doom and gloom kind of.
I've lived there a lot.
Yeah. I mean, it's really hard. to not live there sometimes.
I hate to not live there. I've been trying to not live there. I'm trying to.
Another one, you can do little like sigils and charms in different places. I actually really want to paint sigils on some of my walls in the school. Like,
Yeah.
I just haven't gotten to it yet. But making little sigils could be nice. You can also make like little like charm bag things for stuff like that. That's kind of I used to keep a charm like a little charm bag hanging on my uh, toolbox, but then it fell off and I never replaced it. But different good stuff for that. You know, for Lammas, you wanna, you know, doing the cleaning and energy reset, sweeping the hair with intention, a ritual deep cleaning day, making it more of a ritual to make it more enjoyable.
I plan those and then I get distracted because I'm also very easily distracted and my shiny things or doomsday scrolling. Yeah, so those deep clean days rarely ever really manifest.
They
don't manifest.
I have found I have to do everything in like a certain order, and I do one room at a time.
Yeah.
And I have my like I start with I learned it actually from TikTok. You start with garbage, dishes, and clothes. This is for like in a house. Anything that needs to be thrown away, you throw it away. And then like for heat in the school, I instead of dishes, it's tools. Cleaning my tools, putting them away. Then clothing is usually like doing I replace it with like my mats and like those types of things. Yeah. And I actually each room I'll bring like a box with me, a couple boxes. Usually I have a box and a garbage. The box is for stuff that needs to go to other rooms, and then the garbage is for garbage. But if I was to say I needed to take that gnome and put it in the front because that's where it belongs, the process of getting it from here to the front of my salon, I will get distracted by 16 different things that I have to do.
Yeah.
But if I put it in the box and then I take that box to the next room and the next room, and each time I get into each room, I look in that box and go, these things need to go here.
And then this needs to be, I get it. Well, that's a good system.
Yeah.
No, that's a really good
I've
system.
had to kind of.
What did you say? It's garbage, dishes, clothes.
Garbage, dishes, clothes in your house.
My salon is my house.
Yeah. But usually there's not a whole lot of like dishes and clothes around the salon.
Yeah.
But yeah, it works really well for me, even like upstairs, in my house, I do that. We don't usually tend to have a lot of garbage flying around, but sometimes it's just like stuff where I'm like, we don't need this anymore kind of thing.
Yeah.
But yeah. And then from there, then I can usually keep myself on track of doing the rest of it. But reorganizing as magical realignment, there's definitely when I reorganize something, it gives me a whole new like energy from it.
Yes. I can.
And so a lot of times during slow times, I'll just like reorganize an area, whether it be my station or the shampoo area or whatever. I'll find a little area to just reorganize, and that brings a whole new like fresh energy. So I love doing that as well.
Yeah.
During slow times.
I've been picking up my grooming room since it's been painted. It's not finished. It probably does be finished, right? You know how that goes. But I want to make curtains for the window. I want to make like a curtain for under the tub just to hide.
Yeah.
My basket sits under the tub, and then I can kind of hide that. And then I have a shelf that I have two wire cages that I use for cage drying. Excuse me. And I have those on this shelf, kind of a deep shelf, and I want to put a curtain across there because then I have stuff underneath there.
Yeah.
So I kind of want to make some curtains to hide some stuff. But I also have this piece of artwork that my daughter made. She drew it. she was going to paint it for me, and it just never happened. She's been in California for 10 years. No, not that, 8 years. She's been in California for 8 years. So needless to say, it never got finished, but it's a cat. And it's like, it's supposed to be the meditative cat. It's got like 6 arms.
Oh, cool.
And she was gonna paint it like with the chakra, you know, the rainbow and stuff like that. And she never finished it. She did just the outline of the cat. And I just pulled it out of the closet today. In fact, this morning when I was thinking about, you know, our Facebook group, I just pulled it out of the closet because I really want to finish. I want it finished.
Yeah.
So I don't know if I'm gonna paint it, if I'm gonna pass it over to someone else to paint it. But yeah, I want to hang that.
Yeah.
I want to hang that somewhere in my room, but it's right now it's just a pencil drawing, right? It's not completed. But yeah, so I'm always thinking about, you know, what can I put here? What can I put there? Purging, I've been pulling a lot of stuff out. I have a few items I need to just get rid of. I don't know what to do with them because I offered them up on our Wisconsin group and nobody wants them. So it's like, well, all right.
Yeah.
But anyways,
Yeah.
I hear what you're saying.
Yeah. You could do offerings, food magic kind of stuff, making dog treats or food for your coworkers. Might be a good time since it's slow. Maybe you have a little potluck. You all make some food and you just enjoy a day together kind of thing. We really need to have a picnic.
I said I just reached out to Carrie about her and I getting together for lunch. I mean, we used to do lunch every couple of months. We would get together and do lunch. And then we both just got busy and we haven't done, we usually do like an admin dinner for the Wisconsin group admins. We haven't been able to do that. We usually try to do a Racine Network dinner. We haven't done that. I mean,
it's been busy.
I know, and I'm looking at my schedule like, really, am I really that busy? Like,
yep.
But I am, you know, and then everybody else is.
Yeah.
It's like on top of all these things I've got going on, you know, you're traveling different, you know, we're not traveling together, we're traveling separate. You know, this person's got graduation parties, you know, this person's, you know, it's just there's just
everybody's life is busy.
Everybody's life is busy, and we can't seem to nail down like a date where we're all just available to do something. And then I feel like we kind of put it off. We push it off, like, oh well, we'll do it. You know, maybe when it slows down. You know, maybe in September. But then it's like I'm looking at my schedule, but I got this and I got that. I would like to, on the record, I would like to maybe plan for next year, like actually having like a quarterly get together.
Maybe plan dates out ahead, like
That's
way
what
ahead.
I
Maybe
mean.
now or even like at the beginning of the year, just plan it.
Well, I'm looking
You know?
for. I have a 26 calendar, and I've started writing in like all the shows. Now that doesn't mean I'm going to them.
Just so you have them.
But I want to have them all in one place so that I can look at it and go, okay, yeah, I'm gonna go to I think I'm gonna go to this show, so you know, I'm not gonna do this, right? So I'm looking to kind of figure out which shows, because I don't think I'm gonna do. I don't know if I'm gonna do all the same show. I don't think I'm gonna do the same shows. I don't know if I'm going to do as many shows, but I definitely want to, you know, do some shows. Working with Pets for Direct. I also need to go to a show
for fun.
And go to a show.
Yeah.
Right? Like I need to have a show that I can go to, that I can just hit up the seminars.
Yeah.
And because I haven't been to a seminar, I can't even remember the last. I sat in half of Chris Anthony's seminar at Teton.
Yeah.
Well, you were in the competition.
Oh yeah.
So I sat
Which class was it?
I don't even remember.
I've seen all of her classes many times because she teaches for the school. So
I don't know which one it was. I think it might have been
ergonomics.
Yeah, I think it might have been.
That's a good one. She just updated it, and it has a lot of really awesome new information.
Yeah. So I haven't. Yeah. Then that's what I mean. Like it's like. I want to go to shows and I want to teach. I should probably save this conversation to next week, right? Because that's going to be the All American.
Yeah.
But anyways, yeah. So I'll stop there. Just that I need to look at that calendar and figure out what my plans are so that I can.
Me too.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, so I think with Lammas, try to ask yourself, what are you planting now that you'll harvest later? Because we're still planting. It's the first harvest. It's not everything's being harvested now.
Right.
So planting now to see what you're going to harvest later and think about that. So you ready for a game? We're going to do Spins and Stims mini game.
Do I have to read? Do I have to put my glasses on?
No, I can just ask you. So we're either going to harvest it and we're going to keep and nourish and lean into it, or we're going to let it go and release, compost, move on.
Okay.
See, tangled backup cords.
Shit, well.
I'm like, I don't want to fucking do this.
In fact, I was just, because I can't stop buying shit, I was looking up, you remember monkey cords?
Yeah.
So there were those spirally cords that you would put on your clippers and it would keep them from getting all tangled.
Yeah.
And I had one monkey cord on my 5-speeds. And so when I gave away my 5-speeds, they got the cord too.
Yeah.
But I was just looking up monkey cords for the house.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny.
I
Let that shit go.
don't want to deal with cords.
Yeah,
Anytime they get tangled, I'm just like, I'll buy new ones. I know that's so wasteful, but it's not worth it. Just move on.
I need to find a good way to label my cords. Because I got all these little cords, like they're this big. And like, I know I got one for like a speaker. I got one that's for a camera, one for like, I have an E lighter,
Yeah.
and so, I mean, I have all these little cords and it's like, I don't know. I
Yeah.
need to figure out, I need to label them. So
I
that
used to be so, well, and I would be if it wasn't for John. I used to be so bad about like, I just put all the tangled cords in a box because it's like, I might need those later. I'm never going through them.
right.
And so John was like, are you actually going to go through these? Well, probably not. Then just throw them away.
But then what do you do when you find that item that you need that cord for?
Then we buy a new cord. And you know what? You know how many times I've actually been like, oh yeah, I wish I wouldn't have thrown that cord away. Zero.
Yeah. No. I've always liked that. Damn it. I'm sure I have this.
Yeah.
I found a new use for vet wrap. So I have an extra long, I'm sorry, I'm off topic. I have this extra long curtain rod on my front window because I have one of those extra long windows.
Yeah.
And so it comes together. Well, it kept, whenever time you open the curtains, it would move the curtain rod. Well, I discovered because there was this little plastic piece that held it together.
Okay.
And that plastic piece is gone. And I know the plastic piece. Like I remember seeing it.
Yeah.
And I don't know what happened to it. And I'm looking in drawers. I'm thinking, I know I saved this password, right? I know it's
that is the worst when I'm like,
find it, right?
I can visually, like, I can visualize seeing it, but I can't remember where I put it.
Right.
Especially because I usually go, I'm going to put this somewhere safe so I don't lose it.
Yeah, so I don't lose it. And so either I put it somewhere and just completely forgot, or it was one of those things where I don't know what this goes to, toss it in the recycle bin.
Yep.
But I can't find it. So Sam duct taped, right?
Yeah.
Well, then I kept getting hung up when I tried to open the curtains. I'd get hung up on the duct tape. And it's like, okay, this is ridiculous. There's got to be a better way. So again, I run through the house looking, where's that damn plastic piece? Can't find it, but I have vet wrap. I brought vet wrap upstairs, cut a piece about this big, not, I cut about this wide, maybe about this long, and I wrapped it real tight. And then I pushed the two pieces together.
Nice.
Perfect. I'm like,
yeah.
Yes. Can't see it, so it's not this big silver chunk of tape. And my curtains go back and forth that don't get hung up. So anyways.
Awesome.
I don't even know why I brought that up, but okay, next.
No, it's a good use for that.
Yeah, it works.
Yeah. Magazines from 2009 as I look at my bin of magazines. My Groomer to Groomers.
That's a tough one. See, now that is a tough one. Well, I'm gonna be honest, and I'm gonna harvest them.
Yeah.
Because the reality is what I usually do is I stack them up for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Then I'll sit down and I'll page through them and I'll rip out
all the ones that you want,
the
like
articles
the things you
I want. Yeah, and it's usually something cat related. I don't know why I just don't read the damn thing. half the time I
You
read
don't
them.
want to go back
Well,
to
half the time when I do read them, it's like, oh, I already know that information, but I still keep, I still keep it. So
Yeah.
anyways, but yeah,
Those are my
So-
most recent ones.
yeah.
And that pile is a pile of, it's a mix of comic books and groomer to groomers from years past.
Really, I may have to look at some of those groomer to groomers. Just out
Yeah.
of curiosity.
So
Okay.
I'm the worst with, like, I'm a magazine hoarder and books. I only finally got myself to stop buying books because I never fucking read them.
I actually donated some books even. Yeah.
I do audiobooks, so I never end up actually reading any of the books. 7 a.m. squeeze in text.
No, I don't respond.
Yesterday?
I don't.
Absolutely not.
I don't respond at that time of morning. The earliest I'll respond is 8 o'clock, and even that, I try not to respond until 9 because my website says 9 to 2.
Yeah.
9 to 3, whatever it says. I think it's 9 to 2. So I try not to respond to anything before 9 o'clock. Occasionally I will, but I don't squeeze. Nobody gets squeezed in day of. I don't care if I've got 0 cats on the schedule today. I'm not squeezing you in. You're going to wait because, first of all, if I know I have a day off the night before,
then I'm planning for that day
my
off.
brain, yes, I am planning for that day off. Second of all, I never want to give my clients that kind of power that, oh, if I just call last minute, she'll fit me in. I never want them to do that. I remember having a guy that refused to book ahead. He refused to book his next scheduled appointment. So after like the 3rd time doing the dog and he wouldn't schedule his next appointment, when he called, I made him wait. I pushed him out at least a week.
Yeah.
Even though I had
appointments,
I had availability, I pushed him out. And after I did that a couple times, he was
started to learn.
Yeah, he's like, "Oh, you're never available." Well, if you book ahead, it's a lot easier to reschedule it when the time comes than it is to get in.
Yeah.
Yeah, he finally started scheduling, but anyway.
Yeah. No, I think I mentioned I have a hard time with transition. So like when I'm already in that mindset of this is how many dogs I have today, or I don't have any dogs today, I do not like it changed. At one point, like I didn't realize it for a long time, so it took me a while before I finally put my foot down on it. But and they were very understanding once I did. But like for a long time when I was in the mobile, like I would have like I'm gonna have this many clients. This is my route. But then like if I still had space for another appointment and something came in, they would schedule something, which I never told them not to at that point, so I can't blame them, but it would throw me all off.
Absolutely.
Because like, I mean, there was one time even when I was working on my last one and I didn't look at my phone. So I didn't see that she told me that she scheduled another one for the next one, for after. And so I thought I was on my last dog and I cleaned afterwards.
Oh.
And then I saw the thing. I'm like, God damn it.
Well, the other thing too with me with cats is I have some of my cat clients that I absolutely need help with.
Yeah.
So I can't just squeeze them in.
Yeah.
You got a cat that I can't squeeze you in because I don't have help right now. So you have to wait until the weekend or, and I'm not going to do that to Sam either.
Yeah.
He has his own routine. And when I need him to help me, I need to give him, a notice so that he can adjust because, he looks forward to whatever he's going to do. And then if he were to come home and go, oh, by the way, put your smock on, you got to help me.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not fair to him either.
Yeah. It's good that.
Yeah.
You can see that.
Let that shit go.
See. Walk-ins.
I don't do walk-ins. I've never done
Absolutely
walk-ins. I used to do walk-in nail trims when I had my salon, but no, I don't do walk-ins. So let that shit
go. We don't even do walk-in nail trims here because absolutely not.
Yeah. I
let that shit go.
I will get people that'll reach out to me. Now that might be something I might squeeze in.
Yeah.
Day of.
If someone calls and wants a nail trim.
Just a nail trim. If I got nothing going on, and again, it's going to depend on how I feel.
Yeah.
If my mind is like, nope, I'm not doing anything. I'm not putting pants on. Then no, I can't do your nail trim today because I'm not putting pants on. So
yeah. Now, I hate walk-ins.
Yeah.
But that is one where, like, if they text that day and they're like, "Hey, can I get in for a nail trim?" Like, if I have space between dogs, I'll be like, "You can come during this time."
Yeah, it's
But
gonna be very
normally we schedule it. Everything has to be scheduled, and we don't take like
No.
walk-ins. It throws off the whole schedule, the vibe, and it makes it more chaotic. You know, especially for neurodivergent people, we have a hard time with the transitions of that, and you know, we need our routine.
I groom at home.
Yeah.
You know, so for me, for someone to bring a cat, you know, sometimes it's no big deal. Other times I have to put all my pets away, and that's a big deal, you know, to wrangle all the cats and put them in one room and keep them in one room, and the dog. And, you know, I have one client with her cat, and she brings the cat. I could easily grab the cat from her, bring it in the house, trim the nails, hand it back to her, and be done in like minutes, 3 minutes. And she comes in and she sits down, and it's like, you know, like she'll come in and I'll be on the couch pulling the cat out of the carrier as she's shutting my front door. By the time she sits down on the couch, I'm done.
Yeah.
You know, like it's time to get up and go.
Yeah.
You know, because
Bye.
I got stuff to do, right? And that's
Yeah.
I can't be doing that last minute.
Yeah.
I need warning.
Yeah. Witchy playlists or affirmations?
Oh, harvest that.
Definitely harvest that.
Yeah.
Somebody in the group. So we keep mentioning it. We did start a Facebook group.
Yep.
Witchy Groomers Facebook group.
Witchy.
And somebody actually mentioned affirmations, and they asked they like asked something about like what music / affirmations do you guys like, and I sent this Snoop Dogg.
Oh yes, I did see that. Yes, I saw that.
I'm like, these are the only affirmations I need.
Yes, I did
Snoop
see
Dogg's affirmation song is
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah,
He made a kids show. So they have a couple different ones, but that's the best one. But they have like sharing is caring, and everybody's different. It's so cute.
Oh yeah.
I love those.
Yeah, I have to go. I need to be more active in there, and I'm gonna make it a point to be a little more active in there. Right now, 99% of all of this is falling on you, and I don't want. I mean, I want to be a part. I want a bigger piece of it, so
Yeah.
I need to just get in there. So I wanted to respond in the group today and introduce myself. And I snapped a few pictures of, because I think in your initial post you said, you know, what is your altar, what is your grooming altar? You kind of asked a few questions for introduction. So I thought, oh, I want to introduce myself, but I want to share some pictures.
Yeah.
So I went around and I snapped a few pictures. So I will do that today. I will get my introduction on there. But yeah, I definitely want to. I was scrolling through trying to find, you know, is there like a daily horoscope for pet groomers? I couldn't find it. No, I couldn't find it. Nothing specific to pet
Maybe we
groomers.
can do something.
Well, you know, that's a good idea. You know, maybe we have to find a really good a good site for general horoscopes. You know, just a daily horoscope site, and then we can
kind of,
you know, we can tailor it
yeah,
to the groomers. So that's a good idea. So maybe I'm going to take that on.
Okay.
So I'll putz around with that.
I like it.
And see what I can find. If you find something, go ahead and send it to me. But I definitely want to make sure that that's something I need to take some ownership of something. I need to own something.
But you've also been very busy. We started this at the beginning of you being super busy.
Well,
like you had the show, and then your kids, and then another show.
Between Kansas and
yeah,
or was Kansas, and then the kids visiting, and then Pasadena, and then so it's finally.
So I was kind of expecting for me to be doing a lot of it till that
ready to go, but yeah.
So.
I still want to be a little more involved.
Yeah.
I'm already thinking about things I'm gonna stop doing so I can dedicate more of my time to this.
Let's see. Online comparison spiral.
Shit, I need to let that shit go. But the reality is I'm probably going to be harvesting a little bit of that for a while longer, but I'm working on
it. It's a hard one to let go.
it. It is.
Just a little bit at a time.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, but we'll try to let it go.
I'm working on it. Yeah.
Bad reviews stuck in your head?
No, I can let that one go because you know what? I don't look at my reviews.
Yeah.
In fact, it's funny. I got a notification that so-and-so left you a review. And I was like, oh, that's sweet. So I went to read it. And then I noticed that I only had like a 4.5-star review or something.
Oh.
And I thought, well, that's weird. I wonder, or maybe I had 4-star. I don't know. I didn't have a 5-star review. And I thought, oh, I wonder what the negative review was. So I went back and looked, and it turns out that this negative review was from a dude that has never used my grooming services. This is a guy, we were neighbors as kids, and then we became Facebook friends. And he had posted something, in my opinion, kind of ignorant. So I was asking him questions about it, trying to dig deeper. Like, is this really what you think? Is this, why would you think this way? And he got pissy and he unfriended me. That's fine. We don't have to be friends. Like, clearly we're not aligned on anything anyway, so it's no big deal. But he left me a review.
Dick.
Yeah, and and it was a couple years ago, so I had no idea.
Yeah.
So of course I'm reading it, and I'm thinking, well, you jackass. But what am I going to do? I'm certainly not going to respond to it now, 3 years later, but.
Yeah, we have one-star review, but the actual review. So it's 1 star, but the actual review is very nice. She was like, they're the best, and she must have gotten it confused.
Yeah,
She was an older woman.
Yes.
It's one of Meg's clients,
Yes.
And we were gonna message her and be like, hey, I think you messed up, and we're like, people are gonna read it.
If
They're gonna
read it, right? They're gonna realize that either she's nuts
or she made a mistake,
or she just made a mistake.
Yeah.
And chances are what she typed out is the legit. She didn't really have a shitty time, but accidentally say she had a good time. Right?
Yeah.
Like, that's usually not how it goes.
Yeah. Yesterday I got my feedback forms from PepQuest for my classes.
Jesus, that was May?
June?
June? Was that? Yeah, that was June.
Yeah, that was Ohio.
That was a while ago. Okay.
And anytime I get those feedback forms, I hand them straight to John. I'm like, give me a summary, because it seems to be kind of a mix. I get the people who the class was meant, especially with my neurodivergent classes.
Yeah.
The people who the class was meant for, and they're giving really great feedback, helpful feedback about what I could change to make it better, but also they're like, this was, helpful, and then there's people who they're just they just throw numbers on there and they don't leave any feedback. And then there's the people who the class really wasn't meant for. And, you could kind of tell it's usually people who don't understand neurodivergent, the neurodivergence, and that I'm autistic. So there are certain things with the way I present that is very different from a neurotypical person, but they usually complain about those things. It's like how sometimes I have a hard time remembering words. They'll say something about oh, she doesn't know what she's talking about. It's just I had a hard time recalling words.
Right. So you have John kind of.
So John goes through and he's like, these are the helpful ones. These were all good, but have no help to you. You don't need to worry about those. Because otherwise I will take it to heart. Yeah. It's really hard not to, because it's my passion. So yeah, that's how I keep myself. And he's still making sure to tell me about the things that I need to use, the helpful information that helps me do a better job.
The feedback.
And the bullshit that I don't need, where they're just complaining, I don't need it. He gets rid of that.
Right. Excuse me. The feedback that I would like to see, I would like to get feedback from the show themselves. What are you looking for? What kind of classes are you trying to offer?
Yeah.
What are the people asking for?
Yeah.
Tell me so that I can maybe deliver that, or maybe this class that I'm doing, I could tweak it and hit some of those because I'm trying really hard to get my foot into the damn door at a lot of these shows.
No, I was actually thinking about emailing and be like, are you getting feedback about what kind of things they're looking
Right,
for? Is there
'cause-
something you're looking for specifically
Right,
that maybe I could fill that gap?
right. Like, I was trying to think of like, well, what other things could I do classes on? Like, I'm not overly, I can talk about anything. That doesn't necessarily make me an expert.
Yeah.
Anything or everything, but I can talk about anything. Now, whether or not I can turn it into a class, I don't know. Like, so I'm sitting down thinking about some ideas of things that could I turn this into a class? Like, this is something that I really feel like I could talk about. How could I turn this into a class? So, I'm thinking about those things, but I'd also like to know, like you were saying, how you get asked to do classes that you haven't even done yet, or that you're just kind of, where this was just an idea. I was kind of hoping you'd pick this one. But they picked the one that, maybe is the one you're a little rusty on or whatever, but that's what you do because that's what they asked for. So for me, they've only asked for, the PowerPoint class.
Yeah.
Which is fine. I enjoy doing that class, but I also have a hands-on class. And when I talk to groomers, I hear,
Yeah.
we want hands-on. We want a demonstration. We want to see, we want to be able to ask questions, but yet
Yeah.
I could do that, but you're not giving me an opportunity to do that. So it's like, I want to know that feedback before.
Yeah.
What do you want to see?
No, I hear a lot of those things, especially because most of my classes I'm attracting the neurodivergent groomers. And so when I'm there before class, that's usually when I'm hearing them talking to each other, and they're talking about how, like, oh, I really wish they would do this and this and this. And I always come back at the end of the show and I email them and I'm like, hey, this is what I heard from a lot of the students that were in my class before my class started, so that because, obviously the Barclay staff can't be everywhere and hear everything. So I have been trying to make sure, like, I update them after every show of like, hey, this is what I heard. This is my feedback that I heard verbally, that kind of stuff, so that they are getting that information. Cause I don't know that they're really getting a whole lot of that information.
Right.
I mean, they get the feedback forms, but it's more for us than them. But yeah, with my classes, I have my list and I don't make the class until someone picks me up for it. So I have these classes that are like ideas listed.
Well, no wonder they keep picking the stuff you're not quite ready for.
Because I don't want to waste the time if nobody wants it.
No,
But I keep putting these ideas out thinking, okay, maybe they'll grab this one, maybe they'll grab this one.
That's an interesting way to do it. I think I've got to have the whole thing planned out before I offer it.
No.
Okay.
I
have an idea.
Like I usually have like a loose, like a basic outline of like what I'm going to do with it, but that's about it.
I have an idea for a class that we could offer together.
Ooh.
But I'm going to keep it to myself until we're done recording. Because I don't want anybody to steal it.
Yeah, that would be cool too, like doing like together. Yeah. That would be fun.
Like Sue and Jay. Yeah. I always love watching Sue and Jay together. Yeah. Their banter is really good. Their flow, they've been together for so long doing these classes that it's just seamless. I really enjoy it. So
yeah. So that's the thing. Now we have to do the oracle poll, which I didn't grab. Could you grab it off the shelf for me?
Yeah. I'll have to remember to do that.
Yeah.
Same ones, Enchanted Blossoms?
Yep. We'll just do the same one again. Eventually I'll switch it up. But I'm enjoying going through the Enchanted Blossoms ones. They're really pretty.
Beautiful cards, yeah.
So I have lots of oracle decks we could play with at some point.
So now that because we have an Enchanted grooming table group on Facebook, right?
Not an Enchanted grooming table one. I just figured the witchy groomers group would be kind of...
Which is fine. So the witchy's groomer, we should put out let them know we have a podcast if they don't already know, and see if they have ideas or suggestions for future shows or...
Yeah. That would be awesome.
Because I think we're gonna sit down with our list, and we might tweak our list a little bit as far as upcoming shows. We can also leave them pretty flexible too. So if people do have suggestions, maybe we shift things around. So, anyways, okay.
No, I think that's a good idea. I wanted to post in there about the podcast and, telling them about that stuff too. But yeah, join the Witchy Groomers group. We're going to try to make it active and exciting.
So did you invited the people that are there now?
Yes.
You didn't share the group in another group?
I think I did. I shared it in the Pet Groomer Town Hall. I
don't think I'm in that one.
Yeah. That one's run by Mary, and she's really cool about like us post, like I post, like I share my blog into there every time. And so it's a really nice one to post into. And I was thinking about putting it on Pro Groomer Network as well, but I wasn't sure if that's allowed.
Oh, I would just do it then. and with the admin delete if not allowed.
Yeah. So we got gratitude. So everybody can see it in the video, which last episode still has to go up on YouTube.
Yeah, I noticed that it's not there.
Yeah, I haven't gotten to it.
That's okay.
But I did notice that your husband followed our YouTube.
I did. His account.
It was his account.
Yeah.
But I was like, hey.
I had an account and I don't know what happened, but it's gone. So I don't know I would have to figure it out again. But so I just followed on his account.
Yeah. So we've got the Bluebell for the flower, and our butterfly is brimstone. Few flowers bring magic and fairies to mind more than bluebells. Growing in great flowing carpets in wooded areas from Spain to the British Isles, these blue trumpet-shaped flowers have long had ties to the fairy realm. To call the fairy kingdoms to court, it is said these fairy thimbles would be rung, and that picking a bluebell can be a catalyst for bad luck from the fairies. You don't want to piss off the fairies. Yeah.
We're re-recording this.
Yeah.
And I just watched you shuffle those cards. This is the card you pulled last week for this.
I was thinking it seemed familiar.
Yes. Now that is kooky.
Yeah. And yeah, you seen me shuffle them.
I just seen you shuffle these cards. That is the card. You said Bluebell, and I thought, and then you started reading. I'm like, that's the card. Oh, that is so funny.
Yeah.
And it's fitting.
Yeah.
Okay, keep going.
Despite this, the sap from bluebells was used as glue for early bookbinding and attaching the fletching on arrows. And I think the fletching is the feathers. And we talked about this.
Yeah.
In more modern times, chemicals found in bluebells have been tested in cures for both HIV and cancers. Bluebells are a hugely popular flower in wooded gardens for their unique look and their ability to reproduce rapidly. Gratitude is one of the most potent emotions humans possess. This card is urging you to stop and be deeply thankful for everything in your life. Acknowledge the people, things, and experiences and emotions you encounter daily. All of these happen for you and not to you. The more joyful acceptance you show towards the positive things in your world, the more positive things you will see and experience. The more thankful you are for your experiences, the more the universe will grace you in return. Be grateful for who you are and what you have. Once you see the greatness of your life, you can begin to focus on it and it will multiply.
Very nice.
Which is very fitting.
Very fitting. Very, very fitting.
Even when, you feel like you're at rock bottom, it's always good to try to find that good piece.
Yeah.
There's always some sort of silver lining you can find. Yeah. Sometimes you got to get creative, but looking back, I should have been able my whole life at some point been able to find something to be thankful for. Yeah. I didn't always because I wasn't good at that, but yeah. So making sure that you're showing gratitude for the things that you do have, and then the things that you don't have will eventually come. So if you build it,
I was there. I visited the Field of Dreams.
Yeah. I've never seen the movie. I'm going to tell a little story here. So I've never seen the movie Field of Dreams. I know of it. I get the basic plot. but just never had an interest in it. And my dad started he's got this Glenrock hop business, and someone in their group did like the main like speech from Field of Dreams.
Oh, okay.
And they changed the wording so it was about Glenrock, and my dad just like lost it because it was basically saying like he's gonna build Glenrock and they will come, and my dad just lost it. And so he's like, we need to share this, and I'm like, yeah, I could do that. And I sent a screenshot to John, and I'm like, what is this a reference to? And he's like, oh no, you have to watch Field of Dreams.
Yeah. Good movie. I think I've only actually seen full movie once, but it's a good movie.
Yeah.
And yeah, we visited years ago, I think.
Yeah, it's in like northeast Iowa, I think. Yeah. I was like near that area when I was camping. So
Yep, it's about an hour out of Hazel Green, Wisconsin.
Okay.
We stayed at a bed and breakfast in Hazel Green, Wisconsin when Alex was 2.
Yeah.
So it was like 93.
Cool.
Yeah, it was 93 because we actually watched the White Bronco chase on TV as it was happening live. We watched.
Wow.
We were at that bed and breakfast watching it with the owners. Yeah, that's what it's 93. So June whatever, 93. June or July of 93.
Yeah, funny things that we remember like that.
But then we went to Galena.
Yeah.
Which is also about an hour.
Yep.
And then we went to Field of Dreams in Iowa.
Yeah. We were basically like across the river from Galena. And I definitely think like it would be a cool place for us to go camping at some point. Like the two of us, because she does classes on like homesteading stuff.
Oh.
So it's a nice place to stay as well.
Princess John?
Not Princess John. He tries to avoid camping as much as possible.
That's so funny.
He's like, I will compromise with glamping when you want me to.
Okay.
But most of the time, no. Okay. Also, I have to remember to send you. Shauna heard our last episode.
Shania?
Yeah, Shania.
Shanua.
Shanua, that's what it was. Shanua.
Shanua. Okay.
Shanua. Messaged me.
This one too.
Yeah, she messaged me after she listened to the episode, and she's like, "You guys were talking about camping," and she sent me her friend, because she used to live in Iowa.
Oh yeah.
Her friend has a hip camp, which I saw it listed, and they do very similar. They have classes. It's on a homestead. They have goats.
When would we be going that way?
I don't know.
We would just go there.
We could just go there. It's only like a few hours.
Yeah, but I was just thinking, is it on the way to anything? I mean, Teton next year.
Yeah. I think we need to do a girls' trip there. Okay. I think that would be fun.
Sounds horrible. I'm in. Sounds gay. I'm in.
Sounds gay. I'm in. Big stretch from the nibbler. It's like, this is tiring.
Yeah.
I'm working hard. So yeah, we'll kind of close this out. Just make sure you're reflecting on your personal harvest and what you're releasing and what you're sacrificing as well for the future. Make sure you follow us on the Enchanted Grooming Table we have Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. I haven't been posting on them because I was trying to figure out that episode, but I will get back to it. And also join the Witchy Groomers group, which I will also share on the Enchanted Grooming Table page.
Yep. Perfect.
So, all right. As above, so below. May your pets be clean and your spirits glow.
Till next time.
Till next time.